Hey, this is John Carlos, and I'm here with a look at the Quantum Mechanix 1/6 scale figure of Captain Malcolm Reynolds from Firefly. Now, I'm a big Firefly fan. It's in my top 5 favorite TV shows of all time, and I like 1/6 scale figures. So, this is like right up my alley. But this is the version that if you order it directly from Quantum Mechanix online, it comes with an additional pistol, which is awesome, so that's why I ordered that. Here's a quick look at the packaging, which is the same as the regular packaging, but with an exclusive sticker slapped on the side. And there's a photo of Captain Mal on the back, and then you can open it up. It's got little magnets that hold that in place, and there is a little photo of Mal on the inside along with the figure. So, right out of the box, just taking a look at this figure, I think they did a pretty good job with the costume. Like, I think the coat turned out good, his shirt looks good, and even look at that head. Now, all over dramatic kidding aside, this is not really that good of a head, but luckily the CEO of the company included a little note saying that we recognize that we could have done better, and we included a second better head, and it is a much better head. So I'm glad they recognized that they could do better and included something that's, better. This head... just compared to like what Hot Toys and Sideshow has kind of grown better at in the last few years. Look, the sculpt is good. Like, actually, this is a pretty good sculpt of Nathan Fillion. You could see, just his nose, his mouth, the eyebrows. But the paint is so simple, and even just his hair, it's really light, and it's just kind of like a basic light brown, a mild kind of dark wash to it. It could be better. We'll look at the other head in a moment. But as far as achieving Captain Mal's costume goes, the coat is great. And I dig that they, did his shirt with the little gold buttons on the outside. There's snaps on the inside there, but you got his suspenders with the little straps that hook the suspenders. You got like his kind of like low slinging belt, which connects to like the holster. And the holster is made of like kind of like a little leather goods material, and it straps to his leg. So nice little details there. The boots here look really cool. Problem with the boots, if I have any, is that while they do kind of move with an articulated joint inside at the ankle, the boots snap right back into place, so there's kind of no point in having an ankle joint if the boot moves but then doesn't really move. At least it's not solid. Like, you do get movement, but it just comes right back into place. But the sculpt on these boots is just great. That leather look, the brown base and then the kind of darker wash really does achieve a good leather look to it. I think his boots look awesome. As do his pants. I love the stripe going down the side. So good job for getting that stripe. And then just the way the holster ties right here on the side. Now, what I really love about this figure is the coat. I love the fact that the coat includes a little bit of lining, and that lining looks really good, so I like that detail. Also, like, the leathery cuffs look really good, really clean cuffs, and the little, like, buckle straps that go across the front look good. But just the way the coat's tailored, it's also made of, like, a loose material, so it doesn't feel too bunchy, it doesn't feel too big, it hangs really well, so it reads well, but it's loose enough that it doesn't puff up. But yeah, I like the burgundy shirt. The collar looks good. And articulation on this is pretty strong. As far as, like, this is my first time dealing with a Quantum Mechanix 6-scale figure. But you got a good range of motion in the shoulders. They not only hinge up and down, but there's that secondary hinge that swings them forward and back. There's a cut at the waist, at the hips, and then another one at the mid-torso, right above the waist. And you got, like the bicep swivel, the double elbow joint. I think it's double. Yeah. And your basic, hinge swivel at the wrist. Like, if you've held a 6-scale figure, this has got everything that you would want. There's no real restrictions to it. But man, another good detail about this that I kind of overlooked is the belt. It's got little holes going down it all along the side there. Those little holes are really good. The buckle looks good. And again, I think that holster just looks great. I like these little rivets. They're plastic and they're painted, but they look good, that little buckle there. So good job to them on that. Now let's try to take care of this head, shall we? We can see how easy or hard it is to pop off. So easy to pop off. Well, and that popped in really easily too. Now this head is the same sculpt as the other head. It's just painted way, way, way better. And on its own terms, I would say, hey, this is a good head. And then you compare it to the other one, it just makes it look better. But like the likeness of Nathan Fillion is totally there. Like the nose shape, the shape of the mouth, like that smirk, that Nathan kind of smirk where it's just starting to curl into a smile at the edge there. But the lip shape, the eyeballs, the forehead shape, the eyebrows, it's a pretty good likeness. I think. I'm pretty happy with this. As a Fillion fan, I'm delighted. Now, just to like reiterate the comparison, here's a look next to the other head, and you can just see the sculpt is the same, but like these eyeballs have a more glassy, realistic effect. These are more cartoony eyeballs. There's this kind of light gray stubble around the mouth, which is just very simply just like some gray paint. This is more subtle in its detail. The eyebrows are painted more confidently. The hair has more darker detail to it. And this has just like a general, more basic skin tone to it. The other one was just a basic skin paint. This has like skin highlights to it that really kind of remind me of Hot Toys as far as skin textures and surfaces go. Same thing with his mouth and chin area, with the light kind of gray, almost stubble effect. So really, really solid work. Here's a look at just his head, and you can see the sculpt of his hairstyle. And I think it's really clean in the back, but also when you get to the ears and the way it hangs down in the front. Really solid work with that hair, especially in the front. I love this head sculpt. Now, before we get to the accessories, I just want to point out that he comes with gloved hands. The other hands are all ungloved, and 3 of the 5 ungloved hands are designed to hold stuff. So if you wanted him to use his gloved hands to hold a pistol, you're kind of SOL. But he does have really cool hands, though. The fist hands, if you want him to throw fisticuffs, look really good because they got the little veins painted on the outside and sculpted on. The way the skin pinches when the fingers bend. Really, really solid sculpting here. I'm really impressed by this. And then he got his hand for holding the pistol, and his hand for holding the radio, and his hand for holding the Lassiter, which we'll show you in a moment. First off, I just want to show you guys his pistol, because I think the pistol turned out really good looking. I always loved Mal's gun on the show. I thought it was such a great shape, and I think they did a great job turning that into a little 6-scale gun. Now here's the Lassiter, which the little Lassiter pistol from the episode where, you know, they have to join with Saffron to steal it. And I gotta say, just the shape of it's great. But just the black and gray paint, the little doodads on top, the front section, the little sculpting, the little copper gold paint, the handle. I'm so glad I ordered this version of it because this turned out great. This is a nice little bonus accessory, as is his little communication radio device. A little red button there, a little speaker. It's a basic sculpt, but it looks really good. Like you can see the little screws on the back, the little gray wash over the black. Really solid stuff. We also get some extra bonus wrist pegs, and we get the figure stand, which is pretty basic. It says Firefly on it with, you know, Malcolm Reynolds' name on it. You just sort of plug in the little arm for it there. Now the hand for the pistol fits really well. You just have to slide the pistol in a bit around the pinky. But yeah, the index finger fits in really well, and it looks perfect. Then we have the hand for the Lassiter, which the pinky doesn't go all the way in, but there are holes for the other fingers. And there you go. I think that looks great too. And lastly, we get the little radio, which fits perfectly into the hand like so. Now before we wrap this all up, I just want to show you guys that the pistol does fit really well into the holster. It fits nice and snug, and the little sections there kind of line up with the end of it. I gotta say, that looks pretty cool. You can slide it along his belt to make sure it kind of hugs his side more, and you can kind of flare out the coat, you know, if he wants to like quick draw for the pistol, or you can, you know, just drape the coat over the pistol. And I do like the articulation on this. You can get him in some pretty nice little poses, like here he is just sort of checking out the Lassiter. And here's the figure posed, obviously, with the pistol. Now, if you're interested in seeing this figure without the coat on, sorry, I won't be taking the coat off. Because 1, I think Captain Mao just looks cooler with the coat on, and 2, it's just kind of a pain in the butt to put back on. You know, when you're trying to thread the shirt sleeves through the coat sleeve after you put the coat back on a figure, it's just kind of a pain in the butt. I don't feel like dealing with it. Now, I first saw this figure at San Diego Comic-Con 2014 at the Quantum Mechanix booth. At the time, they had a little thing where you could sign up online to be notified when it would go for pre-order. And I did, and a whole year went by, and I didn't get notified about anything. In fact, at the following Comic-Con 2015, the figure was still on display and not for sale. I feel like it's taken a long time for this figure to come out. And I have to wonder, was it gonna be worth the wait? If it had been the original head, I'd say no, not at all. But the fact that they included this head makes it, to me, awesome. Because you can have a really well done figure as far as like armor or fabrics go, but if the head looks all cartoony and stupid, it just kind of ruins the figure. Now, Quantum Mechanix is kind of dipping their toes into 1/6 scale figures, and I gotta say, this turned out really good. Like, it's got pretty strong articulation. The joints really hold, they're not too stiff, they move well, they're not too loose. The fabrics on this look really good, his costume looks really, really cool. I'm very happy with this as a Firefly fan. It's in my top 5 favorite TV shows of all time. So obviously I'm a 1/6 scale fan, I'm a Firefly fan, so I'm very satisfied by this. So I love it. So thanks for watching, and if you want, follow me on Instagram and Facebook and all that other stuff. Bwah!